Hello guys, Wahoo here, back with another video. This time around we are on the PTS server once again because they added some even more skills. If you haven't seen my recent video on the PTS server, I will link it up in the corner as a card, also in the description, with all the small update that has been. There's a lot of them, some is just one line of text, but I wanted to add everything right there and there so you can just click them to see what's going on, because some of them, one little text could be what you think is the most amazing thing there is. So right now for me, it's not the delve part of this update. It's more the fact that we are getting new class gems. And I'm assuming it's class gems because right now on the PTS server, it's rings. But as you can see, if I move over to this inventory, it's a little bit easier to see. You can see they just have 18 physical damage and 0 health. And then that's what they all have. And they have power rank 1. So I think there's just for testing purposes. I doubt it's going to go into rings. But we haven't gotten any confirmed. I might ask on Twitter if it's going to be class gems. I'm just assuming it's class gems, so you have a pool. Some classes now have 3 different ones. Some being really amazing and some also being must. For example, you know, as the Draco has one where it has a 100% chance of spawning those Draco babies when you use your bomb thingy here. And this is an absolutely must for the Draco. And I'm gonna go over all of the specific ones, and I'll make timestamps and everything as well. And like I said, always in the descriptions is always updated with all the newest stuff. So always go to the description. Things are always updated there. So I'll also, like I said, I'll make timestamps so you guys can go towards all these different ones if you want to go into them. Also, I want to say that these skills are absolutely amazing. I did send my feedback to Gamigo. Or Trove, the dev team on Trove, and I think they listened because these skills are a lot better than the ones we had last time. Last time we only had like one. There's going to be, I think, is going to be a must for, you know, play. Some of them have some great utilities and whatnot, but these all are absolutely amazing, except for the Draco, but I'll get into that one when we get to him, and we're actually going to start with him as well. I think I covered everything there is to it. Like I said, description, card, see the other abilities. So I think with all more, not me rambling on anymore, making this longer video even longer, we'll just jump into the Dracolyte as the first class. Oh, like I said, the first one is the Dracolyte, and what it does is that I can move it right over here. It's a lot easier. So when you use your ultimate, you summon 2 Dracolyte allies when you use your ultimate. So of course that's when you become the big dragon, and that's gonna summon 2 of them. And it's a little underwhelming. Of course, it's very nice to summon 2 of them, but I've done a little bit of testing. I'll show you guys what is going on, because it doesn't add 2 if you have like all summoned. It just replaces 2, basically just 2 dies, right? So let me equip this one, and as you can see, if I do it like this is a lot easier to see. So I hold down this and I keep summoning. As you can see, they die a little bit over time, but as soon as I have summoned enough, you can see one of them is just gonna disappear. And you know, now I basically have full. It's a lot easier if you have more energy regen, of course, but basically they just disappear because you can only have 6 of these guys up. And you know, then you would assume if you use your ultimate that it would have add 2 more of that, so there'll be 8. But no, it just replaces 2 of them. As you can see, they didn't add more, it just disappeared 2 of them. So that's why I think it's a little bit underwhelming. It's nice that when you pop your ultimate, you already have 2 up. So if you run like that, but mostly you just run in as what I do is that I just run in, I pop down these before I start anything, and then they kill it, because they usually don't get to kill me before that. But so I think I'm still gonna use that as a class gem when it comes out, but I'm not gonna be calling it a must gem for many people out there. It's a very nice gem. It's definitely on the cusp of being a must-have gem, but I don't see it as a absolutely must, and you can't play the Draco without. But very nice addition, at least. But this was I think the least underwhelming of the gems. So let's move on to another class. All right, next up is the Revenant, and this is one of the abilities that is absolutely going to be a must, and it's definitely going to replace the one we have now, where you have you know, less cooldown, or like this one. You know, this is the class gem, as you can do. Kind of a thing. I never really remember what you can do with it, to be honest. but it's kind of like your bulk has like loses cooldown, applies and stuff like that. So it's okay, but it's mostly just, yeah, whatever. But the thing that makes this the most awesome for the Revenant, at least, is that now the ability that you have, let me move it over here so you can see it, your spear or spirit spears no longer slows you. So spirit spears kind of, I don't know if it makes sense, but that's of course your number 1 ability down here. This one is the spirit spear, and usually, I guess I can show it here, it's probably like, yeah, you can see, now you can see I'm slowed, and I take it off and then I move a little bit faster. But now what it does is that it removes the slow that you have, so you can just run as fast as you want and run around and do the damage without slowing you down. And you know, the number 1 ability is what you use the most. Like I said, this one is cool, but you really don't tank. If there was tanking in Trove, this would be amazing. But this is the best change to the Revenant that could actually happen. I don't think the Revenant actually needs a rework. I didn't actually just think about that, but just came to mind right now that I don't think the Revenant actually need rework just because of this. This helps out the Revenant so much. It could be a more interesting gameplay for sure, and in a way, but I think this is the very welcoming change, and I didn't think about it at all. So I'm happy they did. So yeah, that's the change to the Revenant. Very cool, very amazing. Can't wait to get this on live. Amazing for sure. So that was the Revenant. Let's hop into another class. All right, next up we got the Knight, and the Knight new gem spill ability thing is that when you use charge, that's of course your number 1 ability, it gives you a movement speed, and it actually it runs for quite a while, I would say, like I think like 4 to 5 seconds or something like that. I can show you guys just in a little bit, but it does do so that, of course, you still can use it with the class gem there is now, but usually people don't use the class gem for using this as a mobility. Instead, right now, what it does is that it, you know, does this, you know, it does a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, and it basically that's all they do. But when people usually don't use the class gem like that, because they use it for a movement, because instead you will dash away that one. So I think with this one, and makes it a little weird, because I think people are still gonna keep the not using the other class gem where it just shoots this out, right? It's gonna use the movement speed. As you can see, you have movement speed. So instead you would shoot yourself forward or charge forward, right? And then have the movement speed, and then wait a little bit and then do it again, and then have the movement speed, and so on and so on, and just keep that going as long as you can see the buff up here in the corner right up here. Can move yourself like that. So also it's gonna help with you know, charging into things and stuff like that. So yeah, for sure, welcoming addition a bit, definitely, but yeah, it's just kind of missing. I think the rework to the Knight just happens to be his mouse too, because it's just a little clunky. You can see it forces me to stop when I do this as well. So usually, you know, the Knight is pretty mobile without using the class gem there, and now it's even more mobile. So it's actually been quite the nice farmer in the speed sense. But you can see this is a little clunky. The ultimate is amazing, but just a small rework probably to the mouse button too is what we want. But that's not what we wanted to talk about. We just talked about, you know, the movement speed. So yeah, just get a movement speed boost when you use your charge when you have this. So this is gonna be a must gem as well instead of the other one. But yeah, I usually rock the thing there. But anyways, that's not what we're gonna talk about. Let's move into the class before you guys cut my head off. Next up, we got the Vanguardian, and the Vanguardian got a decent one, I would say. So what it does is that it says Energy Blast now applies the same damage as your laser eyes. So here it's called Plasma Blast. So I think it's just a typo. I think they just meant to say Plasma Blast to do so instead, because what it does is that when you shoot your auto attacks now, like this, this blast, the right click, the right click, yeah, that applies the same as it does when you do your laser eyes. As you can see, this is the laser eyes, and you can see it increases all damage taken from all sources. So usually people use this one, so I don't think this is gonna be a big boost to the Vanguardian, because I think most people are going to be melee anyway, because of the movement speed you get when you use this ability. You know, you get a movement speed there, so usually people rather have the utility of the movement speed, and you already have the laser eyes, but it does make it more interesting to be in this one. And also, if you're killing bosses and stuff, you apply that debuff so everything takes more damage. So I think ranged Vanguardians in boss fights and stuff like that might see it more, at least in some compilations and whatnot. So kind of a small change, but it's not a must thing. I'll probably get it if they fix it, calling it Plasma Blast instead of the Energy Blast. But anyways, that was the Vanguardian. So just the debuff, extra damage taken from the I-beam, as you also get on your right click on the mouse button too on this one as well. So enough with the Vanguardian, let's jump into another class. All right, here we got the Dino Tamer, and the Dino Tamer's one it's pretty cool, and it's gonna be a must gem because it's gonna be something where it increases your damage done by the Dino Tamer and its dinos, I mean. And as you can see, it applies a debuff, damage debuff to the enemies when you have dealt damage to them already. So it's not just gonna be damage, but if you done damage, then they're gonna take even more damage. So also from the dinos they summon, but it's just worded a little weird. Maybe it's just me, but applies a damage increase debuff to enemies dealt damage by a dino. Like, that's to enemies dealt damage by I'm not native English, so it might be worded right, but it just seems a little weird to say, for me at least. But yeah, I can at least see that this is a damage increase, and of course this is going to be a must as well, because a damage increase is always going to be a must, right? So this is just a straight up, it's not super interesting, but it is apply something. And we do have an amazing class gem already for the Dino, increased time on the ultimate, right? So that's amazing. It doesn't really need much of a uptime, or no, sorry, much of a new class ability, but it's gonna be a must when we hit the live. So not much more to say about the Dino Tamer other than welcome to a new ability as well. Anyways, let's jump into another class. All right, we got the Neon Ninja again. Yes, the Neon Ninja is getting a third class gem ability, and this one is amazing. That's why I said in the beginning I thought that they heard my feedback. I think so, I hope so at least. But the Neon Ninja, the last one, was kind of underwhelming, and it was kind of really not very good at all. It was just a slow fall to your ultimate, and I thought that nobody's really gonna use that in a way, because people all use the ultimate, but I don't think they want the slow fall. I don't think people need the slow fall. There's not really any damage you take when you fall in Trove, so I don't see the slow fall really beat. Maybe you're in the air more or something like that. I don't know, but so what it does, this one is absolutely amazing. So when you do your shadow flip, that's the back flip, and you generate 3 shurikens. So basically, when you have this applied, you never have to hit anything again. You don't have to worry about attack speed, actually. Attack speed actually well, you can still have it. Sure, attack speed, it doesn't remove, like, the Shadow Hunter, when you have the class gem equipped, attack speed doesn't apply to the class anymore. You can still have attack speed, but you don't need it anymore. You don't have to have it anymore. So you can focus on movement speed instead. So this is why this is a game changer for the Neon Ninja. Well, it just makes the Neon Ninja absolutely the best class to farm on, like by far, in my opinion at least. So what it does is that I also went with a different skin because I couldn't see on my other skin what it does, the shurikens basically. So let me first just take this off, and you can just see first what I do a back flip. You can see I do get a shuriken when I do this, a backflip, and also if I do it more, that does apply the backflips as well, but when you equip this one, it does it instantly. And usually what you do is you do the, let me show that one more time. Usually you do the backflip, right? And then you hit a few times, and then you shoot and hit like that, so you can generate them like faster. But with now, you basically do the backflip, and you have 3 shurikens already. So you can see I have them already throwing shurikens all the time. So you don't even need to hit at all anymore. Of course, you might want to do that still. You might be some damage in there if you can, like, I know I'm hitting the mouse really hard, but I'm trying to, as fast as possible, get that up. But this is a game changer because usually, you know, you went for a lot of attack speed, so you can get those shurikens up fast and backflip and then hit and backflip and just keep like doing this. But this removes it completely if you feel like you want to do so, which you then can focus, because usually you sacrifice movement speed for attack speed. You know, attack speed and movement speed is kind of the ones that are in like the same, because you want as much critical damage as you can get, right? So that's gonna take up one spot, and then there's a few other spots as well. But usually you can fit them in, but now you can just focus on the movement speed and get those shurikens out. So that is absolutely amazing. This is gonna be, at least for me, this is gonna be amazing. I am gonna play the Neo Ninja definitely some more, bit getting this as well. Neo Ninja wasn't really a class for me, but this is an absolutely welcome, amazing game changer for me at least. So that's just how I'm gonna say it from my part, but amazing change and definitely a lot better than what we got last time as well. So let's move on to the very last class of this round of new abilities. I'm so sorry guys, I said the last class, but there is actually a class you want to see after this one. I'm sorry, there is actually two classes left. Well, this one and also the Fae Trickster I will also get to. Sorry, I thought we were through them all. But anyways, the Bard one is quite underwhelming in a way. It does improve the class overall, of course. What it does is that the peaceful song buff, that's one of the, when you know, epic rift, you know, you go through all the different buffs and stuff like that. Now also reduce damage done to allies. So it's just a debuff to that one. Usually you don't really use the, if I can remember which one, the Jubilee, I think the Jubilee is the one, yeah, the Jubilee is the one you use. Mostly because the Jubilee is the one that gives you movement speed. I guess it's a good, you know, way if you are, I wouldn't say if you are killing bosses, but it might be pretty good to do so as well. But yeah, kind of underwhelming, as I said, not really something that your people are looking for, I guess. So yeah, it's kind of underwhelming. I really don't have much to say about it, other than it's a damage reduction as well. So it's not going to be it's probably going to be a must for some people that are in the end game. So I can't say for sure that it won't be absolutely the best, but as you can see, it is just a damage reduction to allies. We don't even know how much it is, but yeah, that's just all it really does. So yeah, yeah. I don't really have more to say than that. So let's actually move on to the last class that is absolutely amazing. Actually is amazing compared to the other one. So that was the Bard, and let's move on to the Fae Trickster. Alright guys, so this is actually the last class there is in here. If you heard the other one, I hope you guys also found out which one is which, but this one is the Fae Trickster one, and it's absolutely amazing. What it does is that the Fae Dance, which is the ultimate, summons one large enchanted staff that follows the player. So we don't know from this if it's as powerful as the three ones that we have, the three enchanted staffs. Those just drop down. So this is absolutely amazing, because usually you never use your ultimate as the Fae Trickster, really not very a lot. Maybe on like some 3-star dungeons, or of course maybe on a boss and stuff like that. But this one, when it moves around, you can actually position it better, it can follow you around, and it is there for quite some time. So let me add this as well. So I'm not going to show you guys the three ones, you're familiar with that, because if I do so, we have to wait for the cooldown. So let's just use the big guy now. So damn, that is the big new staff, and then when of course you attack, you can move around and it will follow you, and I assume it's gonna do as much damage as the three small staffs in one shot instead. So that's cool. You can move around, and then when you run through a dungeon or run through like a 5-star dungeon, for example, it will follow you around. I don't know if it's gonna stop if it sees an enemy or something like that, and then it's just gonna, you know, not keep, or basically just be around or stick around to defeat that enemy as well. So I can see now the cooldown is gone, so you can actually keep it up again. And I think I have, yeah, I do have the Chronomancer Cube Sleeve, so I do have 25% recovery rate. So I think you need that recovery rate from the Chronomancer Cube Sleeve to have it up all the time. But I don't think it's that necessary as well, because it's around for a pretty long time. It's pretty slow. I can kind of get away from it a little bit, but I think they have to tweak that a little bit, but they'll see that. And but it is pretty cool that it sticks around with you instead of the other ones just, you know, staying in one place. So I can just show you really quick. This is the 3 staffs. It does, you know, and they stay there, and then you, of course, you move on. So maybe you're defeating something over here and it won't help you out. So this is absolutely amazing and wonderful addition to the Fae Trickster, and this is going to be one of the must gems as well for the class as well. So one large boy to defeat them all, right? And then it moves you with you, right? And then you can defeat it all, right? So that's amazing. Really, really cool gem spot. We are going to, before we end here, I am going to talk about 2 other classes that we haven't seen yet. Alright, so the 2 last classes that we haven't seen any abilities yet. I will of course make a video again if I see more of these updates to, if it is of course the Lunar Lancer and the Ice Sage. So of course the Lunar Lancer is getting a rework. We know that was confirmed by Moby on my podcast. If you haven't seen that, you should probably find it on the channel. It's the one with Moby. You just search Moby on the channel, you'll find it. And he confirms there that it is the Lunar Lancer that we're getting. They teased that before in the live stream that the next update was going to be over the moon, and of course the Lunar Lancer is kind of the moon class, so we knew that, but he confirmed it on my or all community podcast is it rather be. But yeah, he confirmed it there, so that's why we're probably not going to see any stuff to this one. I think they're just going to skip the Lunar Lancer, but we haven't seen the Ice Sage either. And of course the Ice Sage has also gotten a rework, but it actually got the rework before the Chronomancer, and the Chronomancer is getting a class gem, a new class gem. I put, you know, that in the last video. It hasn't gotten one this time around, but in this rotation, I guess some 2 did get that, Neo Ninja and Bard, right? But the Ice Age might we also missing, so it's not tied into being reworks. Of course, the Lunar Lancer is different because we are getting you know, it wouldn't make sense to make more abilities. That is gonna come with the rework, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna see that probably later this year or start next year. See some teasers or something like that too. I think they're kind of working on all this now, and then they're gonna, you know, tease something around there, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't spoken to him, but just in my head, the timeline feels like it is that. But yeah, of course, I'll make, like I said before, I think I said it for the last class, or did I say it before? Anyways, I'm just gonna make sure that I say it. I will do more videos if you see more abilities, especially for the Ice Age and so on. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was great to get over all these. When I saw them first, I didn't see them. I was just like, I saw the patch notes. I was like, wow, I gotta check this out because this is absolutely amazing. So everything is of course linked in the description, all that stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!